There we go. Cut it
It's
off.
in? Okay.
Yep.
Perfect. And then just turn down the volume and I think we are good. Yeah. Let me just mute a few things here so there's no echo. All right. Let's get started. Let me do this. Okay, so today's episode is gonna be fun. We are gonna learn how to start sales rapping. Let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Zen here with Close One. Welcome to our Sales Power Hour edition. Today is a special day. We have Ding Zheng joining us from Dooley. He is a sales rapper, fractional head marketing for every early stage company. You need to define that for me. He creates content that goes viral, and he does this with sales flows. So he's actually gonna drop 16 bars on how to start sales rapping today, if to share his best sales tips, and of course he's gonna share and train us through music. Please help me welcome the man himself, Ding Zheng. Hello, hello.
How's it going? Thank you so much for having me. I'm Ding, like a doorbell sales rapper. Great to be here.
Nice. Is that your real name?
That is my real name. The sales rapper, or Ding.
Ding, as in the.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct.
Nice. Very cool. So tell us, where are you from? Where were you born? Tell us about your journey. How did you get started in the sales account executive community?
Certainly. So it's a pretty long story. The full background. I'll say that I was born in Illinois, and then I moved to China, and then I came back. Went through schooling in the Midwest. Did my summers in China, and later on I went to the school in Boston. And during all of this time, I was making rap music. So I started very young, 2008. When I was around 12 years old. That was when I first started making music, and it was around a 10-year journey. Didn't really pan out the way I'd expected. So in 2017, I was a junior in college. Decided, hey, this isn't working out for you, Ding. You got to make a little pivot, because you got to financially sustain yourself somehow. So I went out, tried to interview for consulting jobs. Didn't get anything, any offers. So like most, in this field, I ended up in sales, which is the best thing that ever happened to me. And so from there, I was at Yelp. We kind of shared that part of the experience. I did 1 year on the SMB side. I don't know if y'all were on RAS at that point, rep assisted self serve, name of the function, I guess. And then they moved me over to the SaaS arm. They had acquired No Way and this reservation software called SeatMe. So it's part of a new team. 23 years old, selling SaaS subscriptions. Not sure what I was doing, but I was able to figure it out, and that kind of informed the basis of my career in sales, but also really changed the way that I looked at my music side of things I was doing before. Whereas for a long time, my biggest challenge was I didn't know how to sell my music. How to package and present myself, position myself as an artist, right? To have good product market fit. I didn't know what that meant at the time. So since entering into sales and learning the tools and being in these situations, it helped me craft a better story of my music, and also align it towards higher value objectives, like let's generate some inbound leads for you via song versus, hey, this is a cool music video you could play at your party. No one cares about the latter, but at the first one, it might make someone else money, and that's what people care about. So that's really the basis of the sales rapper at a very core level.
What company did it start with? Did you start making rhymes at Yelp, or did it start with Dooley, or how many, what year, and what was that trajectory
Certainly,
like?
certainly. So from 2017 on, I wasn't actively making music. I was, very much bought into sales. Like, I wanted to be successful at sales. I lived it, breathed it. I was reading, self-development books on the weekend, staying later at the office to make more calls than other people. So music wasn't top of mind. My professional focus was very much on, how can I be the best IC that I could, at that point in my career. It wasn't until 2020 I had actually left Yelp for a new role at a different company early March of 2020. I spent 4 days at the office, and the rest of my tenure there at home. And a couple months later, I was laid off. So at that point, it became very much, let me get my brand out there. I was on LinkedIn. I was part of a lot of micro communities. Shout out to Rev Genius, Sales Rebellion, Justin Michael, the Sales Borgs, Thursday Night Sales, you name it. And of course, the most important one, Bravado had a thing called Zenner, so I got the sales hat. I was very desperate, right? I just lost my job. The job market wasn't, nearly as good as it is right now. Last year around this time, especially for sales and marketing roles. So I was kind of in the LinkedIn space. And people were saying, hey, post content, put yourself out there, reach out to people, take relationships offline and build your community that way. That really resonated with me. I was seeing zero success submitting out resumes, just getting blocked by the ATS. Maybe they saw Ding Zheng, the name scared them off. Maybe David Zhang would be more palatable, what have you. So it was on those micro community Zoom calls where I first showed the music side of the sales rapper towards the wider sales community. And that came in the form of freestyling, which hopefully we can get into a demo later on. If I was on a call, 15 people from the sales world, we had people in executive positions, we had SDRs, on the call. And it was literally I told everyone to start typing words in the chat, and I started playing audio into the Zoom, freestyle on top of it. Show it's live, it's interactive. Afterwards, everyone is sitting there slack jawed. Whoa, what has happened? And I got feedback. Hey, Ding, this is something that's genuinely different. No one else is doing this. And as they say in Play Bigger, right? Chris Lockhead. It's not about being better than your competition. It's about not having competition. So that's when I kind of went into the category design business a little bit with the sales rap, starting out posting content. So some of the first clients were really people in the network. I had posted a song, content marketing, right, a music video announcing that, hey, the sales rapper is a real thing. I'm taking discovery calls with clients. So very early on is actually my friend Jordan Bean is a digital marketing consultant based out of Vancouver. Was the first guy that hit me up, and since then it's really grown pretty quickly, snowballed. And with companies like Dooley, big shout out to Dooley, reaching out, hey, we like what you're doing, we like this brand, and come do this for us, part time in a kind of ongoing capacity. So that's been really, really fun.
Amazing. Yeah. Ding, your story resonates with millions and millions of millennials. Anyone who's been let go before the pandemic, and you were able to pivot into something that is so unique, so authentic, it's so genuine. What are the 3 tips you could give to someone who's experiencing what you went through right now?
3 tips to what I've experienced. I think the first one is be radically honest with yourself. I think a lot of times we get stuck in the loops because our expectations don't match reality. And So for me during that time, I was a President's Club rep at Yelp, high performer, all of that stuff. Yet I was having trouble, landing an AE role, right? That I thought that, I had kind of, I don't want to say deserve, but there was some form of entitlement there. And I think one of the keys is understanding that the world doesn't owe you anything necessarily, and it's not in anyone's best interest to look out for you necessarily. So knowing that, then you could better plan your moves in a way that, we always talk about accurate forecasting, right? How realistic are you with your pipeline? Do you have some in there that are just inflating your pipeline size so you could bump up your forecast? Well, I think that also applies to real life too, because at the end of the day, you can get your manager off your back, but if you miss your number, you still miss your number. So that'd be number one. I think two is, and this is a tough set of questions. I think I don't like there's a term, it's like be yourself, be authentically you. I don't know if that's necessarily true. I think it's more about being what you need to be according to each circumstance. Be adaptable. Sometimes that means show the full you and the real you. I think sometimes you got to be strategic with it. And that for me, with the sales rap, that was a big component of it. Is when I started doing music, and for the first 10 years, I really saw myself as, hey, I'm a creative, I'm an artist, I have unique artistic ideas for other people. And maybe to a certain extent, I still feel that way. What I learned through sales is that no one cares about any of that, right? No one cares that I think I'm a great rapper, or I could make music that sounds like Billboard Top 100. They care what I could do for them to help them. So I think, just framing it like how your self-identity can be a value add for other people will reinforce your self-identity in a stronger way. And that's also will bring you more good. And the third one, I think most important, keep it light, have fun with it. Especially, for something like doing sales rap, right? Or making a pivot, taking a risk in your career. Make sure it's something that you actually want to do. I've seen people that go out and pursue certain things where the outcome, they really wanted that outcome, but they didn't enjoy the process of going through that. I have just as much fun nowadays selling, consulting packages for $10,000 as I did selling a rap song for $100 when I first started out.
Yeah.
And ostensibly, right, my metric of success is if I could keep having the joy and the energy as I continue scaling out this business. That's success for me.
That's amazing. Wow. Okay. So the topic is, of course, how to start sales rapping, right? What are some tips you could give someone who's trying to learn how to sales rap just to keep it different? What are ways to make things more fun during discovery, for instance? What are some of the things that you've done?
Sure, Zen. So when you say sales rep, do you refer specifically, to this thing that I do, or are we using sales rep as a metaphor for pursuing, some other interest?
Yeah, in what you do, sales flow. So here's the thing, like at Yelp, right? Since that's both kind of our background, we're pretty big on foundations, and one of the foundations that we definitely got is making sure that we have specific activities in order to make friends, as they like to call it, like when you make those outbound calls. And so in order to do that, you had to be different. You had to make people remember who you are. And I think for you, your difference is, your uniqueness is that you actually turn music into a way of communicating and engaging with people. And it's a great way for them to listen to you. And so what are the tips to help other reps like us become more like you? To have
Certainly.
this edge?
Certainly. I think the first step is repetition, which sounds counterintuitive. That repetition means getting over the initial hurdle, right? Of the fear of the unknown, step into the void, and it doesn't really matter if it's sales rap or maybe you play the ukulele on a call. The more times you do it, the better you're going to be at it. Right? And I think it's a natural progression. Now, I would caveat that with be strategic with it, right? If you have a less appropriate talent, for example, maybe don't show that off in a client meeting. At the same time, it's also good to think about the changes in societal standards, right? I believe 20 years ago, if I try to do the sales rap, even 10 years ago, I think the reception would be a lot different. So I think it's important to have your finger on the pulse of what's safe and what isn't. So then you can push the boundaries. If you don't know where the boundaries are, you might just step out there and get canceled.
Or you could just try to keep pushing the boundaries until you get an appointment.
No, of course, you have to push the boundaries. I think that's the whole point of this. But I didn't do a good enough job of explaining. It's you need to know where the boundaries are before you can push the boundaries successfully. I think, because if the boundary's here and you're here and you're trying to push, you're not pushing anything. But if the boundary's here and you're over here, you're not pushing that boundary the right direction. Or the content police on this side, they're going to catch you, take you to fun jail.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that's a great point, actually, knowing the boundaries. So for instance, one way of learning this is if your prospects are on TikTok and they're like dancing on TikTok, that's a great way to connect with them, because you know what, it's fun. Everyone is remote. We're in front of our computers all the time. We're trying to connect outside of the product, outside of work. And so yeah, that's a great point. Quick question. So we've been doing this series on overcoming objections. I'm curious. You did outbound at Yelp, right? With the SaaS?
I did do outbound.
Okay. So this one's quite common. It's a very common question. How would you overcome a timing objection?
Timing objection. I think the first order of business with each objection is you want to understand more, right? So basically an objection could be an invitation for further questioning. I think the most important thing, identify, is it a smokescreen objection? Is it an actual objection? If it's an actual objection, you probably want more color or context into the timing. So let's say, the timing is off. What makes you say that? First of all, always what questions versus why, right? Why puts people on the defensive. What suggests that there's logical reasoning behind that conversation piece.
Okay, yeah, I do agree with you there. There's a lot of sometimes when you're doing outbound, most people, they'll just say, I don't have time, not right now, just to get you off their plate. And so understanding and asking, what time is better, what time is a good time to connect is a great way to go around it. So I'm not sure if you're able to share this part with Dooley itself. What were some of the metrics? How did it transpire? Like, did Dooley reach out to you? Did you have a YouTube video? And then what were the metrics, like the success metrics itself from releasing that video? What were some maybe sales or closed sales from that video? Were you able to measure things like that?
Yeah, certainly. So, this is, to be very transparent, this is something that I'm still building out. Sales Rap is less than a year old. There's combinations of influence, pipeline, overall reach, engagement from people at our tier 1 accounts, and then building out processes for UTM codes. I don't have hard metrics, hard numbers for measurement right now. I think that's something that every B2B marketer deals with in some capacity, right? Is, do you optimize for the best marketing, or do you optimize for MQLs, right? And that's the danger, is when you optimize your marketing for certain success metrics, right? Then the essence of your marketing, the intent behind it, I think it doesn't serve the audience. right? It's more about, okay, like, here's our arbitrary and I'm not saying that's wrong either, because you do need some of that. So it's nuanced. You don't want to run marketing by committee, but you also don't want to completely tie it to, hey, if we get signups, because then what happens is, let's say you're just doing data collection. Okay, cool. Then everyone's back to 2014 making gated ebooks and having webinars where the requirement to attend is to book a discovery call with an SDR. And that's not flying in 2021.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are you able to talk about Dooley in a sales rap? Like, I'm going to drop a beat now and see if you could freestyle about Dooley or
talk about Dooley
sales in general.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Let me go grab a little bit of water, and then
you heard it here. We're gonna do a fun little flow here, and once Ding gets back, he's gonna share more about Dooley itself and a few sales insight. So let me prep on my end. And these are no copyright music, so DMCA free.
Amazing.
Okay, let's see.
By the way, if anyone's on the live stream, hydration buddies, let's get our H2O intake. Something I've been working on recently is drinking more water, getting more hydrated. So here's a plug to the best product of all time, water.
Water!
Was that a Itchy Ma Keith Ape reference with the water?
Oh no, I'm not sure I'm familiar with it. What is it?
It's a common ad lib, but a lot of rappers they're like water because it's talking about how like they got the drip, right, with the fashion. I got the drip. It's wet like water.
Nice. All right, here we go.
That was more of the rapper side of the sales rapper.
Here we go.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you could hear it.
I hear it. Is there a way you can send me words?
Words?
Yes, message me words on LinkedIn so I can prove it's a freestyle.
So, okay. Wait, aren't you on YouTube right now?
I was on YouTube. Now it's... Or my app reset.
Wait. Let me open up LinkedIn right now. Okay. I'm on LinkedIn. We're on
now
live.
it's here.
On YouTube or LinkedIn? Which one do you want to do? Wait, hold on.
Let's do LinkedIn since it's on my computer and I could pretend like I'm looking at the screen. On my audio level.
Okay, I'm gonna drop words in here.
Share my headphones. Hey.
Okay, do you see Valerie? She actually messaged. So we'll start with Valerie's comment and then just go all the way down.
Here's what it looks like for me. I don't see Valerie.
Oh, gotcha. I'm on LinkedIn now.
Oh, okay.
So it's LinkedIn.
Gotcha. Are you on the live feed on LinkedIn?
Yeah, live feed.
And could you send me the link to that?
Yeah, let me do it now. Okay.
Yo, we on the live feed. We on LinkedIn. I got the relay, what you thinking? It's the water in my hand, how we drinking. I've been talking about my plan, I'm thinking I'll be on Zoom, no it's Ecam live. Yeah, Ben's trying to see if he can rhyme. I'm doing the sales rap, it's not something that I feel that. Yeah, I'm like, where all the whales at?
Oh, right there. It's on your, go to your messaging.
What's up, Valerie? We out here eating food like calories. Yeah. They've been asking how is he? Yeah. I'ma help you increase salary. Look. Try to astound. The headphones sound not good, so I'm loud. Way to stand out from the crowd. Be unique, have any competition, I'm proud. Right there, yeah. Live stream and it's so fun. Ding and Zheng, we're talking about clothes one. They're like, Ding, where your clothes from? Hey, I've been rapping since I was so young. Let's go.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm like super what is this, excited right now. Let's see what else. Okay.
Oh,
So
we got some good words in there. I didn't even see the ones at the bottom.
oh yeah, there's more.
There
You
we
want me to
go.
drop another one
Amazing.
here?
Let's do another one.
Okay,
I
one
don't
more
have
and
a,
then
I don't
we'll
have a call right now either, so
one
we
more
got
and
over a
then
little
we'll
bit.
do my last question because I have a call. So we'll do one more. Ready? Let's go.
I'll get the little faster flow for you on this. Long intro.
It is. It is.
Yeah, sales. It was not something I failed at. I done been stunting like bravado. You see me wearing that sales hat. Yeah, water. Got him. Hey, bottom. Maybe. Sign him. Hey, talking recovery. I'm on a sales call. I be on Zoom and I'm doing that great discovery. Yeah, you cannot trouble me. Hey, white wine. Maybe I'm drinking some white wine. I was just doing a duty. Quick updates when I go to my pipeline. Yeah, so I don't fail more. So I get all the deals, opportunity fields of my sales force. Hey, where am I from? Fun land, yeah. Hey, at 1:30, I have a call. Okay, yeah, so bye, y'all.
I love it. This is great. Let me ask you the last question here. That was amazing. How does Ding close deals? How do you close your deals? You said you close $10,000 deals. What is it that you do in order to make that happen?
I've closed bigger than $10,000 deals.
All right, let's go.
But like that's just an example. I mean, how do I close deals? I think it's funny we're talking about discovery. I mean, it's running great discovery. Having a really button up process. You know, I don't really believe in. It's like, hey, there's a magic thing in sales, or you know, there's a line where you just tug on their emotions and manipulate people. That's not how sales works. You know, especially in modern, more complex sales. It's about really understanding, you know, what each stakeholder values, right? Multi-threading properly within accounts, setting proper expectations, and also being very clear on timelines, and having a process, right? Just understanding, you know, talk to as many people you think that will help you, arm you with the right tools to close your deals.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. And I think for with your use case specifically, like you like to have fun and emotion.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean that in itself is so powerful when
yeah.
you get people like hyped up the way we just like went a little hard here. Having way too much fun being silly. There's a lot of power when you could just be yourself and not care and be, you know, you're pretty fearless when it comes to flowing, and you are very talented. I cannot wait to like hear and read other comments once I plug this on Facebook and so forth. Tell us, how can we find you? So there's other
Absolutely.
brands
So
listening here, definitely want to plug you and get you more business.
here you. So y'all can hit me up on LinkedIn, Ding Zheng, DingZheng, or the sales rapper. My website's under construction. So if you're watching this a couple months from now, salesrapper.com is where you can find me. It's not right now. It's not ready. Coming soon. I'm on YouTube. It's just my name, Ding Zheng. Hopefully you can find me. Sometimes the algorithm's not super pleasant on there. Sales Rapper on TikTok, and Ding Raps on Instagram, and just at Ding on Clubhouse, where I do a weekly show every Thursday night where I do what we just did, live freestyle, except I pull up your bio and I rap about everything that you've listed about yourself. So it's a fun time. Hope to see you there.
No way. That is so awesome. And to repeat, that's /DingZheng25 on LinkedIn. Okay. And so that's it. Thank you so much for joining us today. If you have any other comments or any other tips that you'd like to share to make this feel complete for you, please share them now before we end the show.
Absolutely. So I think in terms of tips, I've two things. I think, yeah, absolutely. To your earlier point, Zen, definitely be yourself. The whole point of the Sales Rapper, my company, is to enable creatives to, capitalize on their craft and skill, uh, and extracting revenue from maybe a source, a channel that they didn't previously think about, right? Maybe the B2B side of things, tech, e-commerce, besides for the traditional way. So there's more ways to succeed than the way that people have always done it, the way that people will tell you that you should do it. And I think that the world is rapidly changing, and the pace of that change is growing exponentially each year. So whoever is most primed to, grow into themselves within this new environment that we're in, I think you're going to find good success. And if you're looking to update your pipeline in an easier way, the way to success is to use Dooley, which saves you about 5 hours each week of Salesforce grunt work. Everyone hates the manager ping, hey, have you updated your pipeline? What's going on with this deal? Right. So that's what Dooley does. For the next month, if anyone reaches out to me about Dooley, I will buy you lunch.
Oh,
so
there you go. Sales flow and lunch from Ding Zheng himself.
Freestyle value. Yep. Dooley,
that is
lunch, and freestyles.
Amazing. Dooley.com, right? Or Dooley.ai?
Dooley.ai.
AI. Okay. All right. There you go. So the website is right there, Dooley.ai. Follow Ding Zheng on LinkedIn.com/in/Ding Zheng 25. That's how you will find him. And so, closers, I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm actually going to share his sales rap video. Let's see if it downloaded. Shucks, it still didn't download. I'm going to find it and share it in the description box. Check it out because Ding is very, very talented. And if all else fails, you're going to have a nice smile listening to his flow because he's on point. I mean... he completely converted Eminem's flow. Oh, is it Guess Who's Back is the song
Without Me.
Oh, Without Me? Is it Without Me?
Yeah.
For Dooley.
Without Dooley.
So yes, exactly. So check it out, and again, until next time, keep on closing. Peace.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day.